In March 2025, Bill Gates predicted that artificial intelligence would deliver a 2-day workweek within a decade. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella declared a golden age of AI productivity. Goldman Sachs projected that generative AI could add $7 trillion annually to the global economy. The message from every boardroom and research institution seemed clear: workers would accomplish more while working less. Then came the reality check. According to Federal Reserve data released in early 2026, AI currently saves workers approximately 5.4% of their work hours. Not 50%, not 90%, 5.4%. Meanwhile, an Upwork Research Institute study found that 77% of employees say AI tools have actually increased their workload, with 88% of the heaviest AI users reporting significant stress and burnout. The math does not add up. Or does it? Because buried within that same research landscape lies a different story entirely. Peer-reviewed studies from Stanford, Harvard, and MIT document productivity gains of 25 to 66% on specific tasks. Companies like Klarna and Shopify have achieved dramatic workforce reductions while maintaining or increasing output. Individual knowledge workers report compressing entire workdays into hours. What separates those who are drowning in AI tools from those who have genuinely automated their workweek? Picture a marketing manager at a mid-sized company juggling content calendars, email campaigns, meeting notes, and project coordination. 45 hours a week, 60 applications on their laptop, and the constant creeping suspicion that somewhere, someone has figured out how to do all of this in a fraction of the time. That suspicion, it turns out, is correct. But the solution is not a single tool, it is a stack. The concept of technology compressing work is hardly new. The early 1900s marked a fundamental inflection point when Henry Ford introduced the 40-hour workweek, a radical reduction from the 60-plus-hour standard of industrial labor. Productivity per hour soared, output increased, workers gained time. The economist John Maynard Keynes famously predicted in 1930 that technological progress would eventually deliver a 15-hour workweek for his grandchildren. Nearly a century later, that prediction remains unfulfilled. For decades, the pattern seemed predictable. Better tools meant either more output or more leisure. The spreadsheet did not eliminate accountants, it made them faster. Email did not replace communication, it accelerated it. Automation in manufacturing reduced labor needs but created entirely new categories of employment in programming, maintenance, and design. Each technological wave brought disruption, followed by adaptation, followed by expanded prosperity for most. By 2019, the Bureau of Labor Statistics projected that software development jobs would grow 22% over the following decade. Technology conferences buzzed with optimism about the future of work. The path forward appeared clear: master the tools, ride the wave, prosper accordingly. The consensus among economists and technologists alike suggested that digital transformation would create more jobs than it displaced. Then something shifted. In November 2022, OpenAI released ChatGPT. Within 2 months, it reached 100 million users, the fastest-growing consumer application in history. Suddenly, the tools were not just faster, they were capable of doing the work itself. The golden era of predictable technological adoption was about to end, but what would replace it remained genuinely unclear. The same week ChatGPT launched, a consulting firm released a report titled, "Why AI Won't Replace Your Job." That report has aged precisely as well as one might expect. The primary disruption is not artificial intelligence itself. It is the speed at which AI capabilities have outpaced organizational adaptation. According to McKinsey's 2024 Global AI Survey, 65% of organizations regularly use generative AI, nearly double the 33% from just 1 year earlier. Yet the same survey found that fewer than 25% have implemented systematic training programs for their workforce. The result is a fundamental bifurcation. Those who have mastered the tools are experiencing genuine productivity transformation. Those who have not are experiencing something far less pleasant. A 2023 study from Stanford and MIT, published as NBER Working Paper 31161, examined 5,179 customer support agents at a Fortune 500 company across 3 million conversations. Agents using AI assistants resolved 14% more issues per hour on average, but the distribution was stark. Novice workers saw a 34 to 35% productivity boost, effectively compressing months of training into weeks. Agents with 2 months of experience plus AI matched the performance of agents with 6 months without it. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, articulated the mechanism at a Federal Reserve conference in July 2025. He said, Knowledge work that cost $10,000 a year ago now costs $1 or 10 cents. Here is where it gets complicated. Harvard Business School and Boston Consulting Group conducted a rigorous field experiment with 758 BCG consultants using GPT-4. Tasks were completed 25% faster, with 40% higher quality output. Junior consultants improved by 43%. Senior consultants improved by 17%. The benefits appeared overwhelming. But the study contained a critical caveat. On tasks outside the artificial intelligence capability boundary, consultants using artificial intelligence were 19% less likely to arrive at correct answers. The technology was making workers faster at tasks artificial intelligence could handle, and worse at tasks it could not. Researchers called this the jagged technological frontier, a boundary that workers could not always identify until they had already crossed it. The disruption, then, is not merely technological, it is cognitive. The question is no longer whether someone can use artificial intelligence. It is whether they can identify precisely when to use it and when to rely on human judgment alone. But artificial intelligence capability is only part of the story. The real transformation requires understanding how these tools combine. Even before generative AI entered the equation, workflow automation was already reshaping what individual workers could accomplish. Zapier, the workflow automation platform, has served 3.4 million businesses and automated over 81 billion tasks since its founding. The company reached $310 million in annual revenue in 2024 on just $2.68 million in total external funding, a capital efficiency ratio that would make most venture capitalists question their assumptions. The case studies quantify the impact. According to Zapier's customer documentation, Toyota saved over 20 hours per week through sales automation alone. Remote, the global HR platform, saved 12,000 workdays and $500,000 in headcount costs. A Forrester study found that enterprise businesses save approximately 26,660 worker hours annually from just 3 automated workflows, delivering 210% return on investment over 3 years, with payback under 6 months. What generative AI changed was not the existence of automation, but its accessibility. Previously, building sophisticated workflows required technical expertise or dedicated developer resources. Now, tools like Zapier have integrated AI assistants that allow users to describe what they want in plain language and watch the automation construct itself. This creates a compounding effect that researchers are only beginning to measure. An individual using ChatGPT might save 40% of their writing time, according to the MIT study. That same individual using ChatGPT plus automated workflows plus AI scheduling might save something dramatically larger. The manipulation of productivity mathematics does not end there. This brings us to one of the most overlooked aspects of the current transformation, the systematic elimination of coordination overhead. According to Microsoft's 2024 Work Trend Index, which surveyed 31,000 people across 31 countries, workers spend an average of 57% of their time on communication and coordination rather than actual productive output. Meetings, emails, scheduling, status updates, the work about work. Reclaim.ai, an AI scheduling platform acquired by Dropbox in August 2024, claims its users save 7.6 hours per week through intelligent calendar management. The platform serves over 500,000 users across 60,000 companies. Calendly reports delivering 318% return on investment according to a Forrester Total Economic Impact study, saving organizations over 9,000 hours across 3 years. Superhuman, the AI email client acquired by Grammarly in October 2025, claims users move through email twice as fast and reply 12 hours sooner on average. Critics contend that these figures represent marketing claims rather than rigorous research. Proponents argue that even conservative estimates suggest coordination overhead can be reduced by 30 to 50% with the right tool combination. What is not disputed is the fundamental shift in how productivity is calculated. The traditional knowledge worker measured output against time spent at the desk. The emerging model measures output against tasks completed, regardless of time. Knowledge workers now face what industry analysts describe as a triple squeeze. Jobs are not merely being augmented by AI. The surviving positions are being automated through workflows, often at coordination costs approaching zero. Apparently, the 40-hour workweek was not a feature. It was a bug that better technology would eventually patch. Michael, a content strategist at a technology startup, described his experience to a reporter from The Information in late 2025. He said he spent the first 6 months resisting, thinking his creativity could not be replicated. Then he watched a colleague produce in 4 hours what used to take him 2 days. Same quality, maybe better. He realized he could either learn the tools or become irrelevant. He now runs his own consultancy, serving clients who still have not made the transition. Understanding why certain tool combinations produce multiplicative rather than additive effects requires examining what these systems actually do. GitHub Copilot, the AI coding assistant with 4.7 million paid subscribers across 50,000 organizations, now writes approximately 46% of the average user's code. In Java, that figure rises to 61%. Enterprise teams report pull request cycle times dropping from 9.6 days to 2.4 days, a 75% reduction in development friction. A study published on AirXive found developers using Copilot completed an HTTP server implementation 55.8% faster, with statistical significance at p equals 0.0017. Cursor, the AI native code editor, became the fastest software company ever to reach $100 million in annual recurring revenue, accomplishing in approximately 12 months what previously took years. By November 2025, Cursor had achieved a $29.3 billion valuation, with a team initially numbering around 12 people. Developers report saving 20 to 25% on common tasks, with some achieving 6 or more hours per week. The pattern extends beyond coding. Grammarly, with 30 million daily active users across 96% of Fortune 500 employees, claims its platform saves an average of 19 working days per employee annually, translating to over $5,000 in recovered productivity. Otter.ai, the meeting transcription platform with 25 million users, reports enterprise customers saving one full-time equivalent position for every 20 users deployed, generating over $1 billion in customer return on investment annually. Midjourney represents perhaps the most striking business case. $500 million in revenue in 2025, self-funded with zero external investment, profitable since its second month, with approximately 100 to 163 employees. That translates to over $5 million in revenue per employee, a figure that redefines what small teams can accomplish. McKinsey estimates that generative AI could add $2.6 to $4.4 trillion annually to the global economy, with 75% of that value concentrated in 4 functions: customer operations, marketing and sales, software engineering, and research and development. The World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report: 2025 projects, 170 million new jobs created and 92 million displaced by 2030, a net gain of 78 million positions, but a fundamental restructuring of which positions exist. So what happens when an individual stacks these capabilities? That question is no longer theoretical. The transition, however, has been genuinely painful for many professionals. The widely promoted narrative that AI would simply augment existing workflows without requiring fundamental skill changes has been thoroughly debunked. According to Nielsen Norman Group's meta-analysis of AI productivity research, the average productivity gain across studies is 66%. But that average obscures a critical detail. The lowest performing workers benefit most. High performers saw smaller gains and, in some cases, saw their relative advantage diminish as AI enabled less experienced colleagues to close the gap. Many professionals feel as though the fundamental rules of their industry changed overnight. The promises of 2019, when technology was supposed to create more jobs at higher wages, have given way to a more complicated reality where technology creates different jobs requiring different skills at uncertain compensation levels. Across LinkedIn posts and Reddit forums, the same frustration repeats. I spent 10 years developing expertise that an AI can now approximate in seconds. What was the point? The answer, it turns out, is that the expertise still matters. But the value proposition has shifted from execution to judgment. Klarna, the Swedish fintech company, learned this lesson publicly. In early 2024, the company's AI assistant handled 2.3 million customer conversations in its first month, doing the work of 700 full-time agents. Resolution time dropped from 11 minutes to under 2 minutes. CEO Sebastian Siemiatkowski estimated savings of $40 to $60 million. The company reduced its workforce by approximately 40%, from 5,000 to 3,000 employees. Then came the reversal. By mid-2025, Siemiatkowski admitted the cost-focused approach had led to lower quality service. Klarna began rehiring human agents. The lesson was not that AI failed, but that AI alone was insufficient. The nuance lies in understanding that AI has not automated jobs, it has automated tasks. And the gap between those two categories determines who benefits from the transformation. Sam Altman articulated this distinction at a 2025 conference, saying that current systems are not very good at doing whole jobs, and they are very good at doing tasks. Historical precedent suggests that technological disruption rarely eliminates entire professions overnight. Instead, it transforms them. The spreadsheet did not eliminate accountants. It eliminated manual calculation. Word processors did not eliminate writers. They eliminated typing pools. Evidence exists for both interpretations. Shopify Chief Executive Officer Tobi Lütke issued a directive in March 2025 requiring teams to demonstrate why AI could not accomplish a task before requesting additional headcount. The company's workforce dropped from 11,600 to 8,100 between 2022 and 2024, while revenue grew 20 to 40% annually. Lütke said some colleagues are contributing 10 times what was previously thought possible. Yet Shopify continues to employ over 8,000 people. The positions changed, but positions remain. Duolingo adopted similar policies in April 2025, launching 148 new AI-created language courses that would have previously taken at least a decade to develop manually. The emerging consensus suggests that the workers who thrive will not be those who resist AI or those who defer entirely to it. They will be those who understand precisely where human judgment adds value and where automation should take over. So are we witnessing the end of the 40-hour workweek? Not exactly. But we are witnessing the end of the 40-hour workweek as a reliable measure of value. The Flippening Stack, those 10 tool categories spanning AI assistance, workflow automation, intelligent scheduling, AI writing, AI coding, meeting transcription, creative generation, and email management, does not literally compress 40 hours into 4 for everyone. The Federal Reserve 5.4% figure reflects reality for most workers who attempt to use these tools in isolation, without strategy, without integration, and without understanding which tasks benefit from automation and which do not. But for those who master the stack, the documented productivity gains are genuine. A 40% reduction in writing time from AI assistance, a 55% reduction in coding time from Copilot, 7 hours per week recovered through intelligent scheduling, 4 hours per week eliminated through email automation. Properly stacked, the mathematics approaches the transformation that headlines promised. The question is no longer whether AI will change knowledge work. It already has. What matters now is whether individuals and organizations adapt quickly enough to benefit rather than simply survive. The flippening is not an event. It is a transition. And for those paying attention, it has already begun.